The strength that we have is in this moment.
Listen to your constituents. Center them in this moment.
But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment.
I think about what's happening, in this moment.
What's important is that we meet this moment.
So are these current Democrats the ones to meet the moment?
What do you want to see us doing right now in this moment?
And which Democrats are actually going to stand up against Elon Musk and Donald Trump in this moment?
The fight that you all are exhibiting is not just what the base wants, but it's what this moment requires.
As you can see from that first clip that you saw, the Democrats have their new talking points. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hope all's good wherever you are. Next clip you're going to watch is Scott Jennings being an absolute savage by praising Chuck Schumer, his pure courage, for helping defeat a racist Jim Crow filibuster in the Senate. This is great. You can't make this stuff up. And then Jake Tapper has to explain that the Democrats called the filibuster a racist Jim Crow relic. And we're going to follow that up with a clip of Jasmine Crockett, who never misses an opportunity to make herself look like an idiot. Even Jake Tapper's face when she says that we shouldn't be deporting violent gangs says it all. Let's go.
First of all, I just want to say I'm grateful for Chuck Schumer today. He helped defeat a racist Jim Crow filibuster in the Senate. And to stand up against the racist Jim Crow filibuster tactics was a moment of pure courage, and I just think he should be lauded by anybody in any party for that. That's number one. Number two.
It's a deep cut. Let me just explain for people at home.
I'm just saying.
When there was a Democratic push against the filibuster, people in the Democratic Party were saying it was a racist era, Jim Crow era
and it was
tactic, the filibuster. So he's being cheeky.
And not,
all right, back to
not only that, but he saved us from the Democrats in the House, laying off every single veteran in the federal government. Chuck Schumer, working with Donald Trump, saved us from that. So I think he deserves a lot of credit this morning.
Scott,
every veteran would have been laid off. Every veteran would have been laid off.
Scott's having a lot of fun.
To deport undocumented Venezuelans that the administration say are dangerous individuals with ties to the gang Tren de Aragua. That gang is obviously associated with a lot of crime, human trafficking, drug dealing, theft, shootings, including in your state of Texas, right outside of your congressional district. Do you agree with this? And if not, what's your issue with the U.S. using any tool at its disposal to remove undocumented violent people from this country?
Well, my argument is that we already have tools that are available to remove undocumented violent people from our country. And so the idea that you want to go into a zombie law, this is kind of like what we saw in Arizona when they decided to revive a zombie law around abortion. It is the fact that we can't trust this administration to actually use a scalpel, but instead they love to use a butcher knife on things. And so giving them this wide latitude to just kind of go across and just claim that anybody is anything is wrong. And so we do have courts, we do have processes, we do have laws, and we should just go ahead and use those. There's a reason that nobody else has decided to go back into Adam's times in order to try to find ways to make sure that we can keep our country safe.
All the Democrats with their approval rating, it's not low enough, 29%. It's not low enough. It should be lower. How is it not lower? Now, the next clip you're going to watch is of Joe Biden explaining that, yeah, we need Doge. This is an old clip from him that resurfaced, followed by Chris Matthews saying that the Democrats are at a record low because Trump and Elon Musk lie. Of course, that's what they would say. And an MSNBC host has a complete meltdown saying she's going independent. You got to love it. Let's get it.
Everybody also agrees, I got from this morning, but I think we had before, that we waste a heck of a lot of money, and that somewhere around a third of all the dollars we spend on Medicare goes for nothing useful. We're not cutting Medicare benefits in this. We're trying to eliminate the third of the problem that's a waste, and this is a big entitlement. It's a big entitlement. Medicare, it exists. We got to figure out how to keep it from bankrupting the country without denying seniors what they're entitled to.
Let's start with the new polling that shows the Democratic Party has reached an all-time low.
in popularity. The latest NBC News national poll finds that a majority of registered voters, 55%, have a negative view of the party, while 27%, just over a quarter of registered voters, have a positive view of the party. That's the party's lowest rating in NBC News polling dating back to 1990. Meanwhile, though, a new CNN SSRS poll finds the Democratic Party's favorability rating at just 29%, a record low going back to 1992, and a drop of 20 points since January of 2021. What's more, just 63% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents have a favorable view of their own party, down 9 points from January and 18 points from the start of the Biden administration. The Republican Party's favorability rating stands at 36%. Okay, want to break this all down. There's some numbers also on Trump's first, what are we in, 7 weeks now? Who's counting? It's moving quickly. But Chris Matthews, what do you make of these numbers for the Democrats?
Well, you could have seen them the night that Trump addressed the Congress. And you watched the Democratic Party. They seemed like they weren't there. They were sort of vacant. They weren't saying anything with their manner. They never questioned the facts. They let the president lie about so.
Signal on Wednesday that you want to fight, and then on Thursday you cave. And so now Republicans know that all they have to do is play Democrats, and it'll work.
$1 billion cut from Washington, D.C. I'm a D.C. resident, and I'm pissed.
Yep.
Okay, so, you know, there's actually little that the Senate minority leader can say, and the 10 Democrats that voted with the Republicans can say, to appease somebody like me. I'm about to change my registration to independent, first and foremost. There's not another option for Senate or Democratic or Senate Democrats or House Democrats to effectively push back. This was it. They blew it. The Democratic Tea Party was born the same day that Chuck Schumer took to that podium to read that very well-crafted statement that told us he folded like a paper napkin. Well, and that's why.
Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Now I'm going to leave you with this last clip from Meet the Press, where Kristen Welker asks why the Democratic Party's approval numbers are at a historic low. And our boy Murphy actually says the American people just want us to fight Donald Trump harder. These people are fools. Let's go, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Our new NBC News poll, as you just saw, shows the Democratic Party at an all-time low approval rating. Why do you think Democrats are failing to connect with Americans at this critical moment of urgency, which you describe?
Well, it's what I just talked about. I mean, I think Americans want the Democratic Party to stand up and fight and to take risks. Listen, I understand that had we gone into a shutdown, even for a handful of days, it would have been difficult. But it would have sent a message that the Democratic Party is not going to be bullied by Donald Trump. We are not going to let them write spending bills unilaterally that cut programs for people we care about, that give the president new and extraordinary power. I think Democrats in this country, but I think the broad middle of the public as well, want to see our party fighting in exceptional ways. That is the conversation that has to happen inside of the Democratic Party, inside our caucus. And if we don't get that right, if we continue to work with Republicans, if we continue to hand Donald Trump more power, we are going to lose our democracy.